Guys, sagutin niyo yung tawag, please.
Good morning. Please, get up and wash your face.
Hello? Ang aga mo tumawag.
Kisha, hapon na. Kakigising mo lang.
Guys, feeling ko na nanaginip pa ako.
Hoy, nasan ako? Same question. Kaya nga mag-emergency meeting na tayo daw na.
Ang weird mga chong. Hindi naming bahay ito. Ang daming high-tech na gamit.
Kanina pa ako naglilibot sa bahay ko daw. Kasi hindi tayo nananaginip ngayon sabi ng AI.
May mali talaga dito. Ano ba kasi nangyayari?
Yun nga yung tinatanong ko eh. Nasaan ba tayo?
Finally, they're awake.
Sorry for the inconvenience. May matay na ata ako.
Same. Tulog na lang muna ulit ako.
No! Listen, people of Earth 81. You are currently at our own version of Earth 120. Ha? Paano? We accidentally entered the gateway and ended up switching places with you. We are really sorry about this.
Don't worry. We already have a solution, but it will be effective later afternoon.
Sure kayo na may solusyon na. Teka. May report nga pala kami kay Sir mamaya. Paano na yun? Lagot kami. We already got your back, dude. Kisha from Earth 120 saw Kisha from Earth 81's note and this said about your report. We already know what to present to your professor and classmate.
Siguraduhin niyo maayos ang report namin na. At siguraduhin niyo rin maibabalik niyo ang lahat sa ayos.
We are from Earth 120, a parallel universe of your world. Same timeline, but ours is way more advanced than yours.
So if there is anyone who knows how to explain technology and humanity, it is me and my team. Sus, gamitin niyo na yung paper namin. Nag-research kami para sa report.
Bonggahan nyo ha. Pabibo dapat.
What's bonggahan? So cheap!
Good day, everyone. I am Teresa, and together with my group mates Kisha, Enrico, and Norrel, we are going to present to you what happens when technology and humanity cross. According to Racoma 2019, robots are transforming the future in mostly positive ways. However, it also improves efficiency, which increases economic growth, resulting in more opportunities for humans to find new ways to earn money. This topic will discuss the ethical dilemmas of robotics, morals, machines, and the reasons why we might not be needed on the next generations of human race. The ethical dilemmas of robotics. Robotics is an interdisciplinary field of science and engineering related to the design, manufacturing process, and operation of mechanical robots. Before we proceed on discussing the topic concerning today's human life with knowledge of robotics, it would be better first if we will go back on how robotics started. From the beginning, the definition of robot has been vague. The name robot is derived from the Czech word forced labor, according to Simon 2020. Robots have unique coding that distinguishes them from other devices and tools. On the other hand, a site called Science Friday released an article in 2011 that included an additional information about the origin of word robot. It explains that it is derived from the root robota, which means servitude, forced labor, or drudgery in Church Slavonic. Pretty interesting, right? The history of robots is a fascinating blend of science fiction and real-world technology. However, no matter how captivating the idea of robots to people, robots, unlike in the movies, are incapable of thinking or making decisions. Now, for the history of robotics. Did you know that robotics is a word that is coined from story Liar written by Isaac Asimov in 1994? How about the difference between robotics and robots? Well, the word robot pertains to the programmable machine created by humans, while robotics, on the other hand, is the study of design, development, and use of robots to perform tasks that were previously performed by human, referred by Britannica 2021. One of the earliest examples of robotics in human history is the Egyptian water clock. 25 years later, the second known advancement in robotics is the pigeon, invented by Greek mathematician Archytas. Leonardo da Vinci, who was another remarkable mind in the engineering field, designed and built Robot Knight in 1495. The robot he made could sit, stand, and move its arms with the help of pulleys and cables. Nikola Tesla produced a wireless torpedo that could be operated with a remote control in 1898. How about ethics in robotics? As people aim for innovation, in order not to be misled by ambitions, it is essential to follow the ethics whatever field you belong to. According to Levin 2021, the word ethics comes from the ancient Greek term ethikos that is derived from the word ethos, habit or custom. Meanwhile, according to Rushworth Gitter, ethics is when the science of ideal human character or the science of moral duty have been used in normative conceptions of ethics. However, for Richard William Paul and Linda Elder, it is about the set of concepts and values that monitor us in determining what behavior helps or harms others. Robot ethics is a growing interdisciplinary research endeavor that aims to understand the ethical implications and consequences of robotic technology, especially autonomous robots. It is roughly located at the intersection of applied ethics and robotics. The objective of robot ethics is to ensure that machines with artificial intelligence prioritize human safety over their given work and their own welfare, while still adhering to agreed human morality principles according to Robot Ethics 2021. Since robots are programmed by people, they don't function completely as humans. They function according to the codes inputted to them. That is where the problem arises. The reason why there is a need to ensure that once inventors or creators make machines, human safety and morals must be prioritized. Isaac Asimov, a science fiction writer, drafted a guide for moral behavior of robots. It is called The 3 Laws of Robotics. Robots must, first, never hurt humans or cause a person to be harmed as a result of their inaction. Second, obey human commands without breaking any rules in number 1. Third, defend themselves while abiding by all other laws. Furthermore, British Standards Institute published BS 8611 Robots and Robotic Devices, which contains the discussion of the new standard as well as the implications for robot manufacturers and integrators. It is an edge if guidelines or ethical designs cover not just the existing standards, but also the advanced steps such as controlling or limiting the possible cause of problems. Now that you are equipped with these basic facts, we can finally talk about ethical dilemmas of robotics. In a Science Daily website, an article was published where it says that the University of Notre Dame's John J. Rayleigh Center for Science, Technology, and Values has released its initial list of emerging ethical dilemmas and policy challenges in science and technology for 2013. With the help of Rayleigh Center, from various disciplinary backgrounds, it has investigated conceptual, legal, and policy problems at the intersection of science and technology and society. Along with the aim of promoting science and technology development for the common good, here are some of the issues that they featured on their website. First, personalized genetic test or personalized medicine. Personalized medication could one day be able to predict the amount of warfarin needed based on genetic testing. It's also useful now that this field of research has gotten a lot of attention in the context of many complex diseases like HIV, cancer, depression, and lung disease, said by Simons 2019. Despite of what is said, the Rayleigh Center already gave its word that this is included on their list of ethical issues with regards to this field. Number 2. Driverless zip cars. It is now legal for Google to run its self-driving cars in Nevada, Florida, and California. Google's mission is to develop a fully autonomous vehicle that is both safer and more efficient than a human-driven vehicle. However, it is a no because it increases traffic congestion, possibilities that cars will be hacked, drivers lose their jobs, and the price makes it hard for average people to purchase one. Number 3. 3D printing. According to Rayleigh Center, Customized pharmaceuticals as well as home-printed weapons and explosives could be possible in the future. Even though this technological advancement contributes to rapid prototyping, fast design and production, reducing waste and advanced healthcare, an article from TWI Global still warned people about the low points of 3D printing, such as limited materials, restrictions on the size of parts that can be printed, can reduce manufacturing jobs, inaccuracies in designs and copyright issues. Number 4. Human-animal hybrids or chimeras. Chimeras are extremely useful for studying animal growth and development. They may be used to cultivate life-saving organs that can be transplanted into humans in the future. Yet, scientists have so far restricted human-animal hybrids to the cellular level. Much more modest studies involving animal embryos and human stem cells, according to others, breach human integrity and blur the species boundary. It is ahead work to know how this could lead people to a dangerous path of creation of new species. Number 5. Human enhancements. For Rayleigh Center, there are puzzles on how to settle the limit between enhancement and therapy. Also, how to justify the improving human bodies because so many people already don't have access to basic medical care. This initiative should involve extensive unbiased consultation and funding for research concepts. There are a lot of ethical issues to be discussed aside from this that are listed by Rayleigh Center. There might be more from other researches and articles that need further analysis with the help of standards, principles, and experts of this field. But with all these facts, it is right to have certain laws and legislation to protect human interest in the hope that the humans won't create their own reason of downfall and will keep on having a good perspective on improving the life of human race.
Thank you, Ms. Basilan, for explaining each concept thoroughly. Let us then proceed to human, morals, and machines. Before we get into this part, let us first look at how technology has evolved and how it has affected our lives. We all know that it has given us many things, whether it is a tool or a service that allows us to do things without difficulty. We have a very low chance of encountering people who do not have any kind of device with them these days, and we can't deny that the negative effects of technology have become a hot topic as well. But for now, let us focus on the bright side. The following are technology's beneficial impacts. First, ease of access to information. While the majority of the news you see on social media is factual, you might also see image results for a specific news. Not only is there more news available, but all of this content is also easily accessible. Next, technology saves time. Let me give you an example for this. Let's say you had a trouble finding your way around a new town. Whether on a business trip or on holiday, modern technology makes it possible to enjoy your outings by assisting you in navigating to any place. Third, ease of mobility. Have you ever imagined your life without a car or a bicycle? Certainly not. Airplanes, electric trains, and cars that are being improved on a daily basis have made all of this possible. Fourth, better communication means. Never before has instant messaging and sharing of photos and videos been so simple. Another one is cost efficiency. One of the primary goals of technology is to make things cheaper and more accessible to people. As a result of technology, people now see cost efficiency. Next, innovation in many fields. Many fields have been transformed by technology, resulting in modernization. Whether in medicine, agriculture, or electronics, technology has resulted in a global revolution. There are numerous other fields that cannot exist without the support of technology. Seventh, improved banking. Nobody could have predicted that they would be paying in bitcoins rather than dollars less than a decade ago. No one would have to stand in a long line at the bank just to pay their utility bills. 8. We have better learning techniques. Many software and electronic devices are being introduced to assist students with their education. 9. Disabled are now able. Artificial feet, smart sticks, and other novel inventions are being developed. They will undoubtedly be successful in the long run, just like the rest of us. Lastly, artificial intelligence. There would be no need for humans to think anymore because an artificial intelligence system could think about how to improve itself. This would provide a respite for the human generation and is most likely one of the greatest benefits of modern technology to us. After enumerating the beneficial impacts of technology to human life, let's now move on to technological nature. But before discussing what technological nature is, let's take a look at this picture first. So as you can see, there is a man and a woman who are both immersed in digital nature through VR simulation, and they both seem to be happy about it. Upon seeing this picture, I am certain that we are thinking of the same question. What exactly is technological nature? Let's take a note that the word technological nature is coined by this man named Peter H. Kahn. He is an American psychologist, the director of the University of Washington's Human Interaction with Nature and Technological Systems, and the author of Technological Nature, Adaptation and the Future of Human Life. He defined this term as technologies that in various ways mediate, augment, or simulate the natural world. On the other hand, brand minds interpreted this term as digital representations of the wild, wherein documentaries about nature are present. There are games in which the action takes place in forests and mountains, VR simulations that transport the user to remote areas of foreign countries, as well as audio recordings of the rain or even the sea. So, technological nature, why does it exist? The very first reason is because of biophilia. Remember that biophilia was coined by Mr. Edward Wilson, an American biologist. Biophilia means the hypothetical human tendency to interact or be closely associated with other forms of life in nature. Studies have shown, for example, that even a minimal connection with nature, such as looking out a window, can promote the healing of hospitalized patients, improve workplace health, and reduce the frequency of sickness in prisons. Don't you think it's true? Nature really does help. Engaging with nature, from simple walks in the nearby woods to more physically engaging or challenging activities such as mountain climbing, benefits us in a lot of ways. The relationship between the environment and the health of the human mind is a growing subfield of psychology, and research shows clear evidence linking the physical and mental worlds. However, many people do not have access to these green, relaxing environments, and this is the other reason why technological nature is existing. Technological nature has found its way to incorporate nature in our lives because of the evolution. Through the years, we are pushed out of the woods and everything around us seems to be a highly urbanized environment. It's like technological nature was made to connect us back with nature. After knowing what technological nature is and why does it exist, let's now move on to artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is a broad field of computer science concerned with creating intelligent machines capable of performing tasks that normally require human intelligence. You may also call artificial intelligence as machine intelligence. This one is far different from humans, since humans are conscious and can feel pure emotions. Artificial intelligence is also an interdisciplinary science with many approaches. What are those approaches? The four distinct approaches has been investigated by Russell and Norrelien: thinking humanly, thinking rationally, acting humanly, acting rationally. The first two concepts, thinking humanly and thinking rationally, are about thought processes and reasoning, while the latter part, acting humanly and acting rationally, are all about behavior. How is artificial intelligence used? Artificial intelligence is divided into two broad categories. The first one is the narrow artificial intelligence, also known as the weak one, and the other category is the artificial general intelligence, known as the strong one. Displayed on your screen are some examples of narrow artificial intelligence, Siri and Alexa. Siri is a digital personal assistant integrated within Apple device operating systems that enables Apple device users to get answers to questions, check the weather, confirm flights, perform searches, answer questions, complete actions, send a message, and much more. Now let's take a look in the brief history of artificial intelligence. Self-learning checkers program was created, the first reasoning program was demonstrated, Stanford's artificial intelligence lab was founded, and a logic programming language came to life as well. A self-driving car was launched and won a grand challenge. Google made breakthroughs in speech recognition. The brain is very specialized in its circuitry, and if you repeat mental tasks over and over, it will strengthen certain neural circuits and ignore others. But we can take steps to address this. It means taking time to cut back on technology to find a balance. It is important to understand how technology is affecting our lives and our brains and take control of it.
As the world changes, more complex problems are encountered and more intelligent approaches to them are needed. In the response to the changing environment in developing countries, scientists, technicians, and inventors experiment and produce helpful and useful devices that are suitable not just for daily use, but also for larger and longer-term goals. Artificial intelligence and robots that are engineered and programmed to learn human tasks and work, as well as human skills and capabilities, are constantly being developed and perfected. In this lesson, we will tackle robots and machines and why do you think that the future does not need us. Mr. Bautista, the floor is now yours.
Thank you, Miss Francisco. Now let's take a look at these following inventions and how they contributed to the technological advancement of the world. First in the list, we have computer machine invented in 1822 by Charles Babbage. The next one we have here is the Z1 invented in 1920 by Conrad Zuse, followed by the Z3 in 1941, who was contained almost all the features of a modern computer as defined by John von Neumann. Next one is the Z4 in 1950, who also created by Conrad Zuse. Next thing we have here is the hard drive invented in 1956. Second to the last one is the integrated circuit created in 1959 by engineer Jack Kilby. And last but not the least, the integrated computer system invented in 1968 by Douglas Engelbart. To give you some insights about robotics, here is Miss Francisco. The floor is all yours.
Have you watched the movies I Am Mother or AI Artificial Intelligence? How about K-dramas like I Am Not a Robot or Are You Human Too? Including these films, there are so many informative clips and movies that could actually open your eyes to robotics, how it works, and how it could help our world. Robotics, genetic engineering, and nanotechnology, among the most effective 21st century innovations, are threatening the world to replace the humankind and life creations with pure robots and technological advancements. Artificial intelligence is inserted into the machine's program in response to communicate with humans, understand decision-making and problem-solving, and do intellectual tasks for as much as how it is programmed and how much information is given or inserted. Most of the machines also need the command of the user to function well and continuously. However, robotic machines are planned and created to act just like a human, and as much as possible, they are expected to improve and learn on their own without any help from the outside forces. Let's now proceed to robotics, Mr. Bautista.
Now, let's talk about robotics. According to NASA, robotics is the study of robots. Robots are machines that can be used to do jobs. Some robots can do work by themselves. Other robots must always have a person commanding them what to do. So now let's talk about robots. These are programmable machines that are built to assist humans or mimic human actions. Robots are made just to handle monotonous tasks, but it expands as time passes by. Here is the consistent characteristics of robots according to Some Daily 2021. Number 1. Robots all consist of some sort of mechanical construction. Number 2. Robots need electrical components that control and power the machinery. Essentially, an electric current, a battery for example, is needed to power a large majority of robots. Number 3. Robots contain at least some level of computer programming. Without a set of code telling it what to do, a robot would just be another piece of simple machinery. Now that we know what robots are, let us identify its types and their uses. Miss Francisco, your turn.
First in line in the types of robots is the pre-programmed robots. These types of robots operate in a controlled environment where they do simple and monotonous tasks. Next one is the humanoid robots. These type of robots are robots that can copy human behavior and also look like a human itself. These robots usually perform human-like activities like running, jumping, and carrying objects. They even have human faces and expressions. Two of the most prominent examples of humanoid robots are Hanson Robotics' Sophia and Boston Dynamics' Atlas. We also have here the autonomous robots. These robots are designed to work on the task that is given to them on their own without the help of a human. Examples of autonomous robots are the following: hospitality bots, autonomous drones, and medical assistant bots.
Let us now talk about teleoperated robots. This type of robot has a wireless network to enable human control from a safe distance. One example of teleoperated robots are the drones that we usually use to capture a beautiful place from afar and also to detect landmines on a battlefield. The last one is the augmenting robot. These robots either enhance the current capabilities or replace the capabilities a human may have lost. The field of robotics for human augmentation is a field where science fiction could become reality very soon, with bots that have the ability to redefine the definition of humanity by making humans faster and stronger. Now that we tackled about the different types of robots, let us now identify the uses of robots. Robots are big help for humans to make the work easy, most especially in the manufacturing industry. The work of robots in this industry is more precise and organized than the work of humans. For home, robots can be seen all over our homes, helping with chores, reminding us of our schedules and even entertaining our kids. For travel, Tesla, Ford, Waymo, Volkswagen, and BMW are all working on the next wave of travel that will let us sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. It is possible that these companies will be able to make a self-driving vehicle with a combination of data, science, and robotics. The last one is for healthcare. Pharmaceutical firms have recently used robots to help speed up the battle against COVID-19. These bots are now used to fill and seal COVID-19 testing swabs, and some manufacturers are still using them to make PPE and respirators. Here is Miss Francisco again to give you further discussions about advantages and disadvantages of robots.
The following are the advantages and disadvantages of robots. Cost effectiveness. Robots can be programmed to work continuously and in a repetitive manner. Any producer would benefit from an increase in production at a lower cost. Next is the improved quality assurance. Robots are programmed to do certain tasks continuously. The quality of the products is also being improved with consistency. It decreases the chances of getting different outcomes and consistently produces products of the same high quality. Increased productivity. Robots are designed to make repetitive movements. Robots do everything that they are programmed to. And unlike humans who have the knowledge to do even unnecessary things not related to what they are tasked to do. Next in line is the perfection. They are less likely to make mistakes because they are designed for accurate, repetitive motion. Due to the absence of prejudices and quirks, as well as the removal of human error, a consistently perfect product will be produced every time. Last one for advantage is the speed. A robot will never become stressed and begin to slow down. As much as robots are made for easier life works, it still has its flaws, and the following are just some of the disadvantages of having robots around us. Potential human job losses. If a robot can operate at a quicker, more reliable pace, humans will be obsolete. One of the most significant questions about the implementation of robotic automation is the effect on workers' employment. The second one is the initial investment cost. When contemplating the implementation of this technology, a thorough business case must be created. This is typically the most important stumbling block in a company's decision to invest in robotic automation or delay it. Last one for disadvantage is hiring skilled staffs. Manufacturers have found it more difficult to fill specialized positions in their factories. Manufacturers have had a harder time finding skilled employees to fill specialist roles in their factories over the last decade. Automation contributes to the conundrum by necessitating programming and knowledge of how to operate the robots.
To give you some conclusion about the topic, robots and machines do help us humans in everything that we do every single day. On the contrary, the only knowledge that robots and machines have is to do what they are tasked and programmed to do. Robots and machines are not intelligent enough to have empathy, feelings, or real emotions. We must act in confidence, believing that life is worth maintaining and the principles in life are worth protecting. Always remember that the future does still need us. Thank you. Hey! Kamusta report?
I think we have done well.
Buti naman.
So,
Guys,
May sasabihin yung Teresa nila.
sasabihin ko lang naman na magsi-CR muna ako. Sungit.
Mamaya na.
Bahala kayo dyan. Iingihin na ako eh.
So, me and my team are really sorry for messing up with your world. I promise not to let this happen again. Naiintindihan namin. Ang mahalaga ngayon, may solusyon na. Makakauwi na ba kami?
Yes, I'll just turn on the device so that we can go back to our worlds.
Be ready and just stay where you are now.
Okay, good luck sa atin. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yes, nakabalik na ako.
Naman, makakatulog na ulit ako.
Sa wakas, normal na ulit. Nice work, team.
We deserve a rest.
Yup, I agree.
Oy, sorry. Namangin ako doon sa banyo. Ano, alis na tayo? Hala! What the?